Hello and welcome. I am Ramesh Ramachandran. It's just after 6:30 p.m. in New Delhi, 1 in the afternoon in London and 8 in the morning in Washington DC, and you're watching a special broadcast here on DD India. We're interrupting our regular programming to bring you our continuing coverage of the AI Impact Summit that's taking place in New Delhi. Remember, it is day 3 of the summit. Heads of state or government have begun arriving in New Delhi. Prime Minister Modi will shortly be hosting a banquet in honor of the visiting dignitaries and meet and greet them as well. So the stage is set for the penultimate 2 days of the summit. Now, over the next 90 minutes, we'll get you the latest on the summit. Our reporters will give you the inside track on the optics and likely outcomes from the summit. Also joining us would be our special guests to help you make sense of it all so that you gain a better appreciation of the issues at hand. As world leaders arrive in New Delhi for the AI Impact Summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be hosting a meet and greet for them. Some of these leaders who will be part of the meet and greet event include the heads of state or government from Spain, Finland, Serbia, Croatia, Estonia, Bhutan and Kazakhstan, among others. The aim is to strengthen bilateral relations, discuss ethical AI governance and foster technological collaboration. The summit is witnessing the gathering of 20 heads of state or government, global tech CEOs and policymakers. Right, let's now take a look at Prime Minister Modi's engagements so far on the margins of the summit. The Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, held a bilateral meeting with Bhutan's Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay. The enduring relationship between India and Bhutan is rooted in mutual trust and goodwill and is firmly anchored in India's neighbourhood first policy. Prime Minister Modi held discussions with the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan, Olhaz Bektanov. The two leaders discussed about ways to strengthen strategic partnership and deepen bilateral cooperation in all sectors, including trade, defense and security, emerging technologies, and people-to-people ties. France's President Emmanuel Macron arrived in New Delhi after concluding his engagements in Mumbai as part of his official visit to India. He is on a 3-day visit to India to attend the AI Impact Summit. During his stay in New Delhi, President Macron is scheduled to hold high-level meetings with Prime Minister Modi. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has arrived in New Delhi as well to attend the summit. He'll take part in key sessions and engage with world leaders on promoting responsible and inclusive use of AI technologies. Notably, the UN believes in using AI for inclusivity. Its website says that AI includes a diverse range of technologies that can be defined as self-learning adaptive systems. Prime Minister Modi met Finland's Prime Minister Petteri Orpo. They welcomed the recent conclusion of the India-EU Free Trade Agreement during the 16th India-EU Summit. The leaders underscore the pivotal role of digitalization and sustainability in driving future economic growth and development. They call for doubling bilateral trade and greater technology collaboration, including co-development of quantum and 6G, renewables, circular economy and defense. They exchange views on regional and global developments and on greater collaboration in global governance. The leaders look forward to enhancing bilateral engagement, including meeting again at the 3rd India-Nordic Summit later this year. All right, time to bring in our reporters covering the summit from the ground and also our guests joining us on this broadcast. Joining me from the summit itself are my colleagues Amritpal Singh and Shubhendu Ghosh. Also joining us are our guests, Mr. Nirman Agarwal, Dr. Richa Sharma and Dr. Winfried Richter. Mr. Agarwal is the founder of Beanbag AI and Crew Scale. Dr. Sharma is the head of personalized learning and head of Universal AI India at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the US. Dr. Richter is the CEO of Pioneer Geist, a company based in Stuttgart, Germany that focuses on supporting startups and innovation. Let me bring in my colleagues who are covering the summit for us. If I can bring in Amritpal Singh and Shubhendu first on this broadcast. Amrit, to you first. We are standing by for the much anticipated meet and greet event. Tell us more.
Is that for me, Ramesh?
Yes, for you, Amrit.
Okay, so the Prime Minister, as you mentioned, the world leaders have arrived in Delhi. Many of them are still arriving, but many have arrived. The Serbian President, the Croatian President, the President of Kazakhstan, President of the President of the Government of Spain, who's technically the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez is here, Emmanuel Macron, who started his India visit from Mumbai, landed in Delhi along with his wife. President Lula of Brazil is already here. So the Prime Minister is organizing a meet and greet to welcome these leaders who are here to participate in the AI summit. So he met many of them bilaterally today in separate meetings on the margins or the sidelines of the ongoing summit. He's hosting a banquet in their honor this evening. He's also met some CEOs. For example, Google CEO Sundar Pichai called upon the Prime Minister. There are other ministers who are here. David Lammy, the Deputy Prime Minister, and the Minister for AI of the United Kingdom is here. So there are about 60 odd ministers from different countries who are here, 20 odd heads of government or state who are already here, global CEOs, many companies from around the world who have come here to participate in this summit. Ramesh?
Shubhendu, coming to you now, give us a flavor, if you will, about the engagements and sessions on day 3 of the summit.
Hello, Ramesh. Good evening to everyone. Day 3 of the summit, Ramesh, tried to bridge the gap, as it were, between the academia, the research, and the industry. The application of artificial intelligence. I mean, there are amazing, groundbreaking technology innovations that are taking place in various labs and schools and institutions across the world. But how do we bring it to scale, population scale, their application? Help countries, especially countries of the global south, to develop what is referred to as a sovereign AI architecture. A sovereign AI architecture would refer to a certain degree of self-reliance that every country should have in harnessing the potential of emerging technologies. Also boosting AI adoption in the global south, besides building safe AI infrastructure would be significant. A lot of focus was also on with new innovations with AI. The levels of threat, the diversity of challenges also increased. So the sessions today are focused on that aspect, and all of this deliberation of 3 days, there is a third day, tomorrow the leaders plenary takes place. All of this content, the outcome of stakeholders talking about diverse aspects of AI would be fed into the leaders plenary. It will help come out with a statement which does talk about the perspective that the global south is taking on the crucial issue of not just innovation in AI, but also adoption at population scale and the manner in which it can be taken forward in the years ahead.
Indeed, Shubhendu and Amrit, do stay on. I'll come back to you momentarily. In the meantime, let me bring in my guests who are joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Agarwal, first of all, do tell our viewers joining us about Beanbag AI and Cruise Scale, also your first impressions of AI Impact Summit.
Sure. So we run AI services setup, and we help global companies build voice AI agents for different use cases like outbound calling for sales, for market research, etc. And at Cruise Scale, we help companies, international companies, build software development centers in India. So my experience with the summit was exhilarating. I met a lot of companies and tried understanding what are the different use cases they're trying to solve, and the use cases were quite diverse, from hardware to software, from governance to individual consumer use cases. So understanding that kind of breadth and depth of topics was at one place. It was very interesting for me.
Absolutely. Dr. Sharma, this summit, the AI Impact Summit, is being billed as the first summit of its kind to be held in the Global South. How do you view India taking the lead to voice the aspirations of the Global South insofar as AI and deep tech are concerned?
So the global, the AI summit in India, it underscores the country's growing leadership in shaping responsible, inclusive AI for Global South, emphasizing this deep collaboration for innovation and equitable access to emerging technologies. And I would say that India has realized that AI is not another tool, right? It's an agentic system that is capable of learning, adaptation, and autonomous decision making, right? We also know across India, across different sectors, that AI systems are also generative. So they are able to produce novel outputs, right? New science can be done by AI in its generative mode. But what I see across India, across different industries, startups and bigger corporates, that they are realizing what they can do is use AI as co-intelligence, right? So that what AI doesn't know is that human experience. So if you see all the new technologies that are being introduced through the AI summit, right, or across over the last 1 to 2 years, they are talking about AI usage for contextualizing it for health, for education, and continuously building on human experiences. So this is, I congratulate India and its technology sector for doing this.
Right. Dr. Richter, first of all, to begin with, why don't you inform our global audience about your company? Did I get the name correct? Pioneer Geist? Am I right?
Yes, thank you. Well, we pronounce it Pioneer Geist, and it's a German word for pioneering spirit.
Right.
And so that's all my entrepreneurial life, pioneering and being at turning points. And if you look at the planet, at the people, at the progress we are facing, we are at a true turning point at the moment. Yes.
Now, Dr. Richter, the Maiden Summit was held in the UK. It focused on the theme of safety. If my memory serves me right, I think South Korea chose innovation, France was next, it chose action, and India is zeroing in on impact. Now, has every successive summit, in your estimation, helped to further and shape and reshape the global discourse around AI?
Well, to me, the impact question is the most important question. And when we look back in history, so turning points often appear as they seem to be technological breakthroughs. The printing press, electricity, the internet. But if you look closer, technology never decided the direction. So it accelerated what people were already willing or unwilling to take responsibility for. And I believe we are standing in such a moment again. So AI is not just another tool, it's an amplifier. It amplifies knowledge, it amplifies speed, it amplifies creativity, it also amplifies bias, it amplifies error and confusion. So turning points are not moments when we suddenly feel ready, they are rather moments when responsibility feels unavoidable. And that's what I feel. So the real question is not maybe not what AI can do. Maybe the real question is who is willing to assume responsibility for what it amplifies. And the more AI amplifies intelligence, the more leadership must deepen our responsibility. And history, again, shows us something important. So turning points do not begin with consensus. That's impossible to get everyone following one idea. They begin usually with a small nucleus, individuals who decide before everyone agrees, and then the other one can follow, and that's where impact truly starts.
Absolutely. If I can go one more time on this broadcast to my colleagues who are covering the summit for us from the ground. Shubhendu, coming to you now. You spent the last several days covering this summit and in particular the Expo. Talk to us a bit, if you will, about the industry response to the event itself.
Right, Ramesh. I want to highlight the spectacular diversity of not just innovations that one witnesses, made in India innovation mostly at the Expo, but also the diversity of the demography. Just in a day, I've interacted with industry veterans from India who are now based in America, who've sort of created many startups. They're 70 years old, they've seen it all, and they're now leading this AI wave as well. At the same time, I got an opportunity to interact with 12, 14 years old school students, boys and girls, who in their own ideas of what should be the right innovation, what should be the subjects they should take up, are in fact creating unique innovations. There's been a global, again focusing on the word impact, which is really at the heart of this edition of the AI Summit taking place in India. The impact, the application of AI innovation and technology at the grassroots is what is being witnessed at the Expo. This example of the school students, I wanted to just elaborate a little. What they've done is that they've sort of identified that car parking in our urban spaces is a big problem. There is a problem of discipline, but there is also a problem of space. So they've imagined a hexagonal parking space where a certain AI sensor will actually lead cars of different sizes to various places to park them. So think of youngsters looking around, identifying problems that directly relates to their lives and people around them, and finding solutions which are so cutting edge. So in that sense, this impact challenge was meant to invite the industry to see the manner in which, if the best innovations can be taken further at population scale, be implemented. And just yesterday, many of these finalists were also awarded. So in that sense, the industry has been closely watching at these innovations of different scales, whether by school students or by veterans in the field of innovation. A lot of venture capitalists, investors want to see the next big bet that they can invest their money in. And this is the place where the world is looking at. India leading that sort of wave of innovation. If we recall, the French President Emmanuel Macron yesterday in Mumbai, in his address, one of the speeches, he spoke about how the question is not whether India is going to innovate. The question is whether who's the country who's going to partner in that innovation. So India is a hub of innovation. Many surveys refer to India as ranking about number 3rd in the world as far as AI competitiveness is concerned. That is really the fodder, that is really the energy that is required to give shape to AI-led solutions, and we're witnessing all of that, Ramesh, here at the Expo.
Indeed, Amrit, we are told that some 20 heads of government or state, in addition to 45 ministerial delegations, are expected to attend this year's summit in India. Give us a flavor, if you will, about the kind of discussions these leaders have been having with Prime Minister Modi in the lead up to the penultimate 2 days of the summit.
Well, the Prime Minister held bilaterals today with some leaders who have arrived here. As I told you, the Serbian President, the Croatian President, the Kazakhstan President, President Lula of Brazil, President Macron is here, though he met President Macron in Mumbai. There are other ministers, David Lammy of the United Kingdom, who's the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for AI. There are ministers from other European and Central Asian countries. There are, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, is here. The Prime Minister has been interacting. He's holding a meet and greet. He'll be interacting with these leaders, but also over the coming 2 days, these leaders will be participating in the sessions here at the AI Summit in Delhi. There would be, structured interactions. There will be interactions over sessions. There will be addresses by them. And it's not just, these leaders and ministerial delegations. There are civil society members, as Shubhendu was mentioning. There are youngsters. There are, in fact, one child as old as 8 years old will be addressing a session on AI for, the use of AI for school students or very young children. Then there are young innovators, there are influencers, content creators who are part of the orange economy. So there are all kinds of people here, policy makers, bureaucrats, and when they interact with each other, because AI is something which they are all grappling with and it's evolving so fast, it's not one institution. It cannot no longer be controlled either by the government or by the industry, civil society. Anybody with a phone in their hand, anybody with an idea in their head is transforming things. School students are here. They have brilliant ideas. For example, what Shubhendu was giving about, say, the issue of parking. There was this whole question of the management of on day one, the mismanagement. So when you talk to a lot of people, there are people who will crib about it, but there are people who are looking at solutions to that to them. It's where I stand here and report from. It's a very dynamic place where all kinds of people, right from heads of government to youngsters, school students, people with just ideas who haven't even completed their formal education, are interacting with each other. There are CEOs of global companies, of deep tech companies, of computing companies, of semiconductor companies, of chip making companies who are here, and they're all. It's a free flow interaction, and they're trying to understand how this generative technology, the AI, is evolving, where it could go, how it could serve humanity. Absolutely. And be deployed to find solutions to the problems that humanity faces today.
Absolutely. Before we open up this discussion to cover more substantive issues, Mr. Agarwal, coming to you now, tell our viewers watching this broadcast a bit about yourself. What prompted you into venturing into this space, and how's your journey been so far?
So I'm an engineer from BITS Pilani and also an MBA from HEC Paris. So I have been a serial entrepreneur, and from my vantage point, AI is going to disrupt a lot of current software industry, and most industries will get impacted. So it was an obvious thing to get into AI, and we already running a AI services company. So as such, the exposure in AI is kind of doubling every day. Every sector is getting impacted. So
right, I hate to interrupt you there, Mr. Agarwal. We're getting some more latest shots from the summit itself. We have the visuals of the Prime Minister accompanied by Minister Ashwini Vaishnav and others coming to the venue of the summit for the much anticipated meet and greet event with the world leaders attending this summit in New Delhi. We'll get you more visuals as we go along, but for the benefit of viewers watching this broadcast, if you're just tuning in, you're watching the continuing coverage here on DD India of the AI Impact Summit taking place in New Delhi for the first time. Is being held in the Global South, and the Prime Minister is about to meet and greet the world leaders in the lead up to the penultimate 2 days of the summit deliberations here in New Delhi. during which he will hold talks with a number of world leaders, 20 of them at last count, and 45 delegations representing the Global South and other international organizations. And as we stay on this visual, Mr. Agarwal, do finish making a point and explaining to viewers about your journey.
So I've worked in tech for more than 10 years, worked across multiple sectors inside of software, starting with SaaS, marketplaces, etc. So as AI wave was starting up, so trying to figure out what can work out, we zeroed in on helping other companies kind of make value out of implementing AI. So we implement AI and build products for other companies. That's our sweet spot. And the exposure that we are getting via the summit has been phenomenal in what all is possible with AI.
And as an Indian entrepreneur who has ventured into the AI space, Mr. Agarwal, if I were to ask you, is the Indian government's AI mission, for instance, making a difference insofar as deep tech is concerned and addressing issues such as sovereignty, accessibility, equity and regulation as well?
I think it touches on all of those points and more. For instance, government is focusing on building our own sovereign AI models and at the same time trying to build its own GPUs and the hardware. I think if both of these are solved fast, it'll become cheaper for all the experiments that founders like myself want to run. So as that becomes cheaper, you would see that AI is going to go deeper in our society in any form that we think it's going to be there in every aspect, be it healthcare, be it education at the primary level, at higher education level. We collect so much data in all forms because of the size of our population. Let's say satellite, we collect so much data, right? So suddenly we could harness that data to create better weather prediction models. So AI is going to impact everything that we do, we see, media, everything, any and every aspect of life will get impacted with AI. And because we are investing in being in sovereign models and many more things, it's only going to get fast tracked. Like the implementation of AI around us is only going to get fast tracked. So we'll start seeing it everywhere, even on devices that we own. Let's say there's going to be a model sitting on a mobile phone probably in 6 months' time.
Is it?
Yes.
Fair enough. I have a similar question to ask of both our other guests, Dr. Sharma and Dr. Richter. To Dr. Sharma first. I mean, India is betting big, we are told, on sovereign and cost-effective and cost-efficient AI over sheer scale. Now, what would you say are some of the Indian strengths in this regard? Dr. Sharma, to you first.
So the Indian strength is the diversity across, across its technology stack, across its population, across, how humans interact. So there is so much diversity, and that is what you can make AI, right, more intelligent on. And then the second aspect is we believe in developing AI that is ethical. That's a mandate from the center to the states, right? So the biggest challenge, right, the risk of AI across borders is that there could be AI agents that are designed to cheat. So that if you see in this summit, when other countries, leaders are coming to India, because they can trust that Indian borders will not cross those agents, right, coming from any the technology sector or the government sector. Or we will design AI agents, AI systems, AI technology stack that is meant for, that is human-centric. And that is what, the other nations can trust when they collaborate with our ecosystem.
Indeed. Dr. Richter, to you now, just the same, thought, as it were. What are your views on India's strengths in relation to, it betting big on sovereign and cost-efficient AI?
Well, what really strikes me is the holistic approach. So even in the about section of this summit, you're describing the 7 chakras, And you wouldn't see that in a tech-oriented Northern Hemisphere or Western conference. And why do I consider this so important? We've been talking about turning points that are initiated, and it's never the society that initiates a turning point. It's not the planet that initiates a turning point. So individuals do. And when enough responsible decision aligns, then society shifts. And let me make a simple example.
Sure.
Like in the business world. So how does a leader experience such a turning point? It's more often a quiet moment, not on stage, not in public. Maybe it's in an insomnia moment. So like 2 a.m. at night, and CEO stays up and sits alone with 3 AI-generated scenarios on his screen. And the one says, automate aggressively. The other might say, reduce workforce to protect margins. And the third one might say, wait for clarity first. And then he has a lot of impressive data. The models are sophisticated, but none of them carries the weight of the consequence. And that's the moment where AI can clarify options, but it cannot carry responsibility. And this final layer, so the decision under certainty, this remains human and is mingled and interwoven with our desires, with our fears. And that's what I mean when I say that the more AI amplifies intelligence,
Right.
the more leadership must deepen responsibility.
Absolutely.
And there's a recent study from Harvard that I find really striking. So they investigate.
His Excellency Mr. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations. His Excellency Mr. Andrej Plenković, Prime Minister of the Republic of Croatia.
से देख रहे हैं, जहां पे एआई इम्पैक्ट समिट की शुरुआत हो चुकी है और ऐसे में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी तमाम देशों के जो राष्ट्र प्रमुख पहुंचे हैं उनका भारत मंडपम में स्वागत कर रहे हैं। अभी तक
All right, it is just past 15 minutes past 7 p.m. New Delhi time, and if you're just joining us, let me recap the coverage of the AI summit for you. We've just seen the leaders arriving at the venue of the summit, the Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, for a meet and greet with Prime Minister Mr. Modi. We've seen the leaders of the UN, the IMF and other heads of state or government all making their way to the venue on the eve of the penultimate 2 days of the AI Impact Summit. And while we stay on these visuals for the moment, let me bring in my guests back in the discussion with us. If I can quickly recap for the benefit of viewers joining us, we have three very special guests joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Nirman Agarwal, the founder of Beanbag AI and Crew Scale. Dr. Richa Sharma, the head of personalized learning and head of Universal AI India at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the US. And last but not the least, Dr. Winfried Richter is the CEO of Pioniergist, a company based in Stuttgart, Germany, that focuses on supporting startups and innovation. Dr. Richter, if I can come to you, we were discussing about your thoughts on how India is betting big on sovereign and cost-efficient AI and India's strengths in this regard. But if I were to ask you now for your or Germany's experiences been what they've been like when it comes to AI, how is the German government and industry alike adapting to some of these challenges or changes?
Yes. Well, often we tempt to look at measures of deployment, like how many data centers, how many AI chips, how many tokens as context one can hold. But impact isn't measured by deployment. So it's measured by outcome and its meaning. And I think we are all in a transition of learning a new way to lead and a new way to hold responsibility at these turning points. And it becomes visible in behavior, and we see still this all in process. And I would say there are 5 distinct points to see that responsibility in this behavior. So first one is pause before scaling, before scaling prematurely maybe. So the bigger the turning point, the more we feel urged for quick and simple answers, aren't we? So, and second is define your non-negotiables. So which values, which premises do you want to keep and hold, whatever comes? And third, use AI to challenge your own assumptions. So let AI ask you. So turn it around. You'll be surprised what effect you create with that. And fourth, very close, stress test your decisions under worst case scenario. And AI is very helpful and very creative, really finding out how it could be destroyed what you're just about to build and to decide. And the fifth is, and that comes together with that human capabilities, invest in judgment training, in critical thinking, not just in AI training or technical AI training. Make this part of this evolution to invest in these human skills. So I personally see a future where we rather talk about a form of hybrid intelligence, where our natural intelligence in the best way increases and fuses with the artificial intelligence, and this hybrid intelligence creates outcomes that are way beyond one of the entity AI or NI could create on its own.
Indeed. Dr. Sharma, while we are watching the world leaders arriving at the venue of the summit, I want to benefit from your expertise so that our viewers get a better appreciation and understanding of the complexity of the issues at hand here. Now, for instance, I keep hearing about terms and phrases that I know nothing about, to be very honest. And I'm sure there are many like me who are watching this broadcast and wondering, what does it all mean? So for their benefit and mine, why don't you demystify some of the terms, for instance, data protection and data security, AI models, machine learning and generative AI, which you referred to, and also sovereign AI and sovereign stack and the 5 layers of the stack. Dr. Sharma?
So data protection and security, they are foundational, right, to trustworthy AI.
Right.
So India's approach, is emphasizing how we are accessing individuals or organizations' data, right? How that is fed into the AI model. And because India has already, deep expertise, they have also proven the digital public infrastructure, for example, the UPI and Aadhaar,
Indeed.
the healthcare system, the public service system. Before the onset of before AI, India has proven very successful AI. The infrastructure, the digital infrastructure around different domains.
Right.
So for them to now translate that, with AI intelligence is going to be much faster and a lot more successful from the trustworthy point, from the data protection point, right?
And
Because
why
those
is data
systems are-
protection so important? If I might ask, what is it with data that worries governments and people alike?
Exactly. So with this agentic framework, right, where there are millions of agents that will be connected, there are no boundaries, right, for because the world is a very interconnected ecosystem. So with that said, it becomes extremely important what
His Excellency Mr. Sebastian Pillai, Vice President of the Republic of Seychelles.
Thank you very much. And we enjoyed the company of there's something more to that. After how many years? I wish.
His Excellency Dr. Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam, Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, accompanied by his spouse, Mrs. Veena Ramgoolam. His Excellency Mr. Alar Karis, President of the Republic of Estonia. His Excellency Mr. Petteri Orpo, Prime Minister of the Republic of Finland. His Excellency Mr. Olzhas Bektenov, Prime Minister of the Republic of Kazakhstan. His Excellency Mr. Pedro Sanchez, President of the Government of Spain.
It's a mistake. He's coming back. Yeah.
His Excellency Mr. Pedro Sanchez, President of the Government of Spain. His Excellency Mr. Edmund Lara Montano, Vice President of the Plurinational State of Bolivia. His Excellency Dr. Bharat Jagdev, Vice President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana.
विशिष्ट मेहमानों के आने का सिलसिला भारत मंडपम में जारी है। बोलीविया के वाइस प्रेसिडेंट भारत मंडपम पहुंच चुके हैं, क्रोएशिया के प्राइम मिनिस्टर का भारत
All right, it is just past 7:30 p.m. New Delhi time. Let me recap for the benefit of viewers joining us right now. We are watching the continuous coverage here on DD India of the AI Impact Summit taking place in New Delhi. And we are getting to the latest from the venue of the summit, the Bharat Mandapam, on your screens right now, as world leaders begin arriving for a meet and greet with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Here you can see the President of Sri Lanka, Anura Kumara Dissanayake, entering the venue on the eve of the last 2 days, the penultimate days of the 5-day event taking place in New Delhi, the first of its kind actually in the entire global south. Sri Lanka is one of many countries invited to the summit. There are 20 odd heads of state or government and 45 ministerial delegations taking part in the summit, including the leaders of international organizations such as the UN and the International Monetary Fund. We've seen the leaders of Mauritius, Spain, Slovakia and others a short while ago, and we just saw the President of Sri Lanka arriving at the venue for his meet and greet with the Prime Minister. All right, and just to take a moment to reintroduce our guests who are with us at this moment. We have with us Mr. Nirman Agrawal. He is the founder of Beanbag AI and Crew Scale. Dr. Richa Sharma is the head of personalized learning and head of Universal AI India at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the US. And Dr. Winfried Richter is the CEO of Pioneer Geist, a company based in Stuttgart, Germany, that focuses on supporting startups and innovation. And as we watch the Prime Minister of Bhutan, Tshering Tobgay, arrive at the venue, let me go across to my guest from Germany, Dr. Richter. Dr. Richter, correct me if I'm wrong, but from the looks of it, AI would render some jobs obsolete and by extension, some people redundant. Therefore, my question to you is this: how does one AI proof one's work and career?
Well, there will certainly be a major shift and jobs being replaced and others will be recreated. And we all don't know how this game is ending up. We have that had during our history already a couple of times. We probably just didn't have it in such a magnitude yet. And generally, I would question this a little bit. The assumption, as one usually hears it, AI replaces my job. So maybe it's rather that people with using AI replace people that are not capable and lagging behind using this. So this especially, of course, is true for leadership. And I'm deeply convinced that in the end, we need the humans in the loop. So we've been touching the regulation aspect before. It's certainly important.
Republic. His Excellency Mr. Anura Kumara Dissanayaka. His Excellency Dasho Tshering Tobge, Prime Minister of Bhutan.
तो लगातार विशिष्ट मेहमानों का आने का सिलसिला, जिस बात का जिक्र करा
Right. Apologies to you, Dr. Richter. Do finish making a point there about the way AI would render some jobs obsolete and cause displacement or disruption, as it were.
Yes, of course. So maybe I could summarize like this. So AI might replace tasks, but accountability stays.
Indeed.
So that means for a future workforce, they must learn to think and act with AI instead of competing against it.
Right.
So then, as a result, the question doesn't become isn't about job loss. It's rather about role evolution. And if we frame that in a positive way, then the human value may shift from execution to judgment to critical thinking.
Absolutely.
And if leaders use AI only for cost reduction, I would say they shrink the future. So I like to ask people when they free time, when they get more time with AI, what do you do with them with that time? And it's so hard to come up with something else than like doing the same thing even more or faster. So, but if you stick that, if you keep that space open, then the creativity and the visionary rises. How another future could look like that benefits us all much more, and all I mean like the people,
right,
the planet, or the progress in that dimension.
Indeed. Dr. Sharma, Dr. Richter there referred to in his comments there about regulation. So as AI becomes popular, would certain rules of the road be required to be put in place? I mean, what I mean to ask you is this: are governments already working on regulation nationally and internationally? And would India also like to be a framer of laws governing AI as opposed to just being a user of AI?
So we are seeing, different protocols. I mean, the efforts to put protocols in terms of data usage, deployment of AI agents, right? And everybody is going to learn from their mistakes, others' mistakes, as we run into issues, hopefully smaller, right? So India, of course, as we were talking about, has a huge advantage in kind of redefining the safe use of AI, safe use of data, right? Because AI is not just what we were trying to discuss before was just a software, right? It is a class of systems that learn from data it sets and the goal that is set. And what it can really do is to achieve those goals, game the system. This is the design, this is the inherent design of AI systems, right? If they are set just based on a goal, and that goal, say, does not have an ethical layer in it, they would go and game the system at a very high scale, which could be a community, which could be a country, which could be world as their stage, and game the system. So from that point of view, it is going to be how intelligently the system is built where AI is adopted, right? And as we can already see that
Right.
India has done, right, with its own digital infrastructure, they have done even without the use of AI, it has been executing, in a very safe manner for the 1.4 billion population of India. Now adapting that safe ecosystem with its own rules, and adopting AI into it, into the financial sector, it would be a lot safer than designing a system just around AI.
Right. Mr. Agarwal, one gets the impression clearly that AI will revolutionize, if not already, the way we live and work. We've seen applications of AI in, say, governance, healthcare, education, finance, or for that matter, agriculture. My question to you is this, and this goes out, on behalf of all the viewers watching this broadcast who are not familiar with the intricacies of the issue at hand here. Would all these applications prove beneficial for people, or will there be a catch? As an industry insider, what is your take on it?
I think it is how we want it to be, and how governance is ensured at every level.
Okay.
And it starts from data collection, how you collect data, how you strip the data from the personal identifiable information of an individual. So as long as we introduce governance and human in the loop to foresee any potential risks, it is going to be safe. Okay. And we will learn from smaller mistakes, and we will become better. But we're already implementing a lot of AI in different sectors, and all of that collective learning will contribute towards making AI safer in every way, be it agriculture, be it healthcare. For instance, healthcare data will be stripped of any personal identifiable information. So there is less risk of any patient data being exposed. And all of that data is also going to reside in India. The scale at which we are investing in data centers, we are looking to kind of store all of our data in India. So it only means that we already understand the importance of data security, governance of AI agents, human in the loop being introduced in every implementation of AI. So I am positively confident that we will see good outcomes for AI for every individual in India.
Indeed, and just to go back to the point that Dr. Richter was making there about displacement and disruption, as it were, especially in terms of employment opportunities. From your perspective, Mr. Agarwal, would AI cause a relook at skilling? Generally speaking, would it require upskilling or reskilling of certain categories of workers or workforce?
It would disseminate into every skill in a way that everybody has to reskill themselves. I cannot, as a founder, say that I'm already skilled in AI because I have to learn AI every day. And how it changes. The world of AI is changing every day. New possibilities are emerging. And as these possibilities emerge, every skill will have to be relooked. For instance, in India, we can take learning in vernacular languages to our in each individual in our villages, which was previously not easily possible. So if we are able to make learning in vernacular languages possible, it probably allows India to achieve its education goals faster.
Right.
So for me, AI is very useful if you think large, if you think about taking it to every individual in the form that they could use it. Whether it is learning from their own mobile phones, or healthcare is reaching to an individual sitting in a village and the doctor is sitting in a city. It is all possible with AI right now. So I believe it is going to transform every aspect of our life. The skills are going to be changed. Like doctors need to adapt to using AI to treat patients faster, better, and they're all already seeing that. I mean, using that. I've come across a lot of hospitals which have started using AI in safe ways, and they are seeing a phenomenal change and efficiency in outcomes.
Indeed. Dr. Richter, while we are waiting for more arrivals of world leaders at the venue of the summit, let me ask you, since you referred to regulation in your earlier intervention there, like all technologies, AI can potentially be destructive, and already we are struggling with deep fakes and concerns around privacy. In your estimation, wouldn't it call for appropriate policies or punitive measures nationally or internationally?
Well, you know why I find this international summit so exciting is we see the clash and the blend of different cultures. And I think the most fascinating aspect of AI is this amplification logic, as we mentioned before. So AI amplifies what already is there. And that mirrors some of the bad things that we now find disgusting. It mirrors us back to us humans. So AI does not create that intention itself, it amplifies it. And that's why we are, when we talk about leaders, challenged to become clear about what. So because AI automatically also amplifies our biases. And if leadership is confused, AI accelerates confusion. And I myself learned a lot about myself, a lot in diving and immersing into different cultures. Because the things that I took as natural, all of a sudden appeared that, okay, I could look at this in a different way. So, and I would encourage experimenting, but then being very curious and about the results. And the real competitive advantage maybe will not be access to AI tools and how we regulate it. Maybe it's the access to ecosystems that accelerate responsible execution and see how different countries, how different continents, how different cultures deal with this. And that's why I believe deeply in cross-border innovation fellowships in both ways, where founders or tech companies step into new markets and grow beyond their own baseline there. So, like in my example, coming from Europe, and I've made business with India for many years in my future career, and now we are bringing tech companies from India and other places to Europe, to Germany, and if you build tech and want to scale, for example, into Europe responsibly, surround yourself with ecosystems that challenge and upgrade you, and vice versa.
Indeed. Mr. Agarwal, we just recently heard the IT minister voice his hopes that India would be able to attract $200 billion over the next 2 years, especially in data centers, for instance. In that context, I mean, I have to ask both of you the same question that I've been struggling with. Now, there's no denying that AI is an energy guzzler. So how does that square with efforts to mitigate climate change? If I can ask the both of you, starting with you, Mr. Agarwal.
So I think India has already looked at energy from the renewable energy perspective and scaled it up at a massive scale. And AI needing energy will obviously be coming from renewable energy sources.
So primarily going forward, data centers will run essentially on green energy.
Yes.
Okay.
And India has pioneered many aspects of renewable energy in the last decade. So I foresee that innovation curve continuing and India powering its data centers with renewable energy. And storage technology is also happening. We are investing in massively in storage technologies, both public and private. So I foresee that renewable energy will lead to much more efficient data centers in India. And of course, it's like more innovation brings more money, and more money brings more innovation.
True. Dr. Richter, would you like to come in on this paradox, as it were? On the one hand, we talk about climate mitigation, adaptation. On the other, we are promoting AI, which, as I said, seems to consume more energy than we can produce.
Well, of course, the engineer in me would say, let's evolve the technology and leapfrog the energy consumption. But the more human and philosophical side maybe would be is, what do we use it for? And AI amplifies intelligence, but it does not replace responsibility. And a turning point, responsibility becomes visible. And if you want to leapfrog in these outcomes and these solutions, we have to make sure we also leapfrog in our responsibility, which might involve regulation, but mainly involves responsible leadership. And our leaders also didn't have a chance to learn it. They learned it with all of us. So let's give them a chance to also learn it, the new way to lead and to take this responsibility.
Mr. Agarwal, as we stay on these visuals for the moment of leaders arriving at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi for the summit, let me also ask you about the Indian government's recent initiatives, including the budget document, which has proposed incentives and tax breaks for investors, foreign and Indian alike. You think some of these would go a long way towards empowering the AI push, as it were, in India?
Oh, absolutely. I think the tax holiday for this sector will mean you are becoming a magnet for attracting a lot of companies to set up their data centers. You're also inviting companies that are innovating on new energy sources as well. So AI is going to feed into itself, right? You will figure out how to be more efficient in developing new energy sources. So it's like a snowball effect. If you can start that in the way the government is planning, it's probably going to lead to a lot of innovation in that sector, which will help us figure out cheaper ways to do renewable energy. And I look forward to understanding like how is that going to like really pan out in the next decade.
And I have to ask you this, Mr. Agarwal, since you spoke about your journey for the benefit of young entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs watching you on this broadcast, what would you tell them about the likely pitfalls or challenges they could face or they might face going forward if they choose to venture into this space, as it were, and where and how could they get help as and when required?
I think there are a lot of initiatives by the government and the industry in ensuring capital availability for innovative startups. I would urge all founders or potential founders to think about what is the potential risks involved in implementing AI, get that sorted, and if AI is managed well, it scales well.
Right.
And that is going to build a lot of trust in AI implementation, which is going to only help them kind of move fast in their journey of being an entrepreneur and landing their products or services well.
At the turn of the millennium, we heard of the internet boom, which went bust immediately thereafter, but then we saw the second wave, as it were. Would something similar be expected or anticipated in terms of AI push? I mean, are we seeing the crest or the trough of this mindset shift that's taking place around us?
I think we've just started on the up curve. It's got a bit of momentum left in it.
Right.
You could see a lot of good startups emerge out of India on all fronts. And if capital availability is there, both public and private, you would see that AI is there to stay. It's not going to get into a bubble, as some might want to predict. And as long as like it's adding value in every sphere of life, it's going to get accepted by everybody in society. Everybody wants to progress, and if AI can do it at a fraction of the cost, why not?
Absolutely, why not? Indeed, Dr. Richter, to you now for from your vantage, since you referred to your experience of dealing with Indian businesses over the past many years, what do you think can be done to encourage German and Indian investors alike to collaborate or work together in the AI space going forward, either on their own or with government intervention?
Well, to be frank, I have a very clear experience, and it's more oriented than Western oriented, which is connect first, communicate later. So as Europeans, as Americans, we tend to first enter with the business and with the goals and with the hard direction. And I find it so fruitful collaborating with India, with other Asian countries and cultures, to first establish a common understanding, and then it becomes much easier to come from that clash of cultures into a fruitful and productive blend of cultures.
So do you think the recent incentives announced by the Indian government for investors in India and abroad, will they go a long way towards giving an impetus, impart a momentum to the AI push in India in particular, from foreign investors or companies wanting to collaborate with Indian partners?
Well, being so much shaped by a startup experience and an exploring experience and pioneering experience, I refrain from trying to predict the future.
Fair enough.
I would rather say make a sound hypothesis, and then find a starting vector, how to start, and then look for course corrections. So see how it works and be able to immediately adapt and change as you have the real experiences. And that's something we haven't learned so much. So we are, as leaders, always kind of forced to come up with a great idea and then put a lot of conviction in it and then kind of prove and validate that it's true. But that's not very helpful if we go into uncharted terrain. We learn on the way, building the bridge while walking on it.
Right. Just to recap again, for the benefit of viewers watching this broadcast, it's just getting to 8 p.m. New Delhi time, and we are still with our continuing coverage of the AI Impact Summit that's taking place in New Delhi. These are the visuals coming to you from the venue of the summit, the Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, where world leaders have begun arriving for a meet and greet with the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, on the eve of the deliberations here at the summit among world leaders, 20 heads of state and 45 delegations attending the summit over the next couple of days here in New Delhi. The first of its kind to be held in the global south, and that would impart a certain momentum, a certain urgency to the discussions for the next couple of days here in New Delhi. And while we are staying on these visuals for now, let me also bring in my guest for some more discussion on the broad contours of the subject at hand. Mr. Agarwal, since you referred to your visit to the expo in the lead up to the summit, what did your first-hand experience of what you saw in terms of the excitement, the ideas that were shared or which attracted your attention at the venue, and the people's participation, especially, I mean, young and old, boys and girls, people from all walks of life trying to get a slice of the AI festival, as it were, in New Delhi over the last couple of days?
I think I would highlight two different spectrums of to look at things right now. I saw, of course, a lot of government officials visiting the stalls, trying to understand how each technology could be useful